Destiny, the game we love to hate.
Or in my case, love. Love, love, love.
Yeah, in your case, love. Now, this is a bit of a weird one. Obviously, you can't go anywhere without hearing about this game. Everyone's played it to death, and some people sat to the left of me, have put hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah. No, that, to be fair, that's true. But not all in one sitting.
No.
As we're about to discuss. Because, right, my main problem with Destiny, I love it, but my biggest problem is the raids.
The raids.
The raids.
Yeah. And
so,
for anyone who doesn't know what the raid is, explain the raid.
Okay, so a raid is basically where you get 6 people together online.
Yep.
And it's like a really long quest. So you've got to...
Really long, though.
Really long. You've got to bend slightly left on a Tuesday when the planets are aligned whilst wearing purple socks kind of thing. You know, it's like complicated, questy, puzzly. So it's not just that you can't just... It's not like this. It's not just like here, nice gameplay here where we just run through, shoot all the enemies and life is good. There is a pattern. You've got to work at it.
Yeah.
With 6 other people, so communication is key. So, not a brilliant idea to play with 5 random strangers.
And I think this is the problem, isn't it? That I don't even know 6 people. Never mind 6 people who are going to want to play Destiny. Who's going to want to spend that much time with me to begin with? To be honest.
Yep. So, not only that,
you could disagree at that point if you want. Cheers, Sharon.
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
Well, that is a huge problem. So you've got to find 5 other people that have got Destiny, that have played it, that are at that level to play the raid that you want to play.
Yep.
That you can communicate well with in a team, and also can dedicate a good couple of hours.
I think it's more than that. From what I watched Let's Plays and stuff. I mean, what was the IGN one?
Well, that was when it was just released.
Oh, fair enough.
So,
But still, a long old time.
But you've still, I would say, average, just number out there, 2, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
Where you can't really step away at that time. It's very difficult to do that. So 5 other people that have Destiny and are at that level and are willing to dedicate a couple hours when you can dedicate a couple hours. And as we know, with having a little fella, you can't do that, because the minute you sit down for a good couple hours gaming, that's when they're sick. Or they cough, or nightmares or whatever. So it's really difficult.
And to be fair to Destiny, and not even Destiny, but to be fair to the people out there are many forums where that they will ask people if they want to join the raids and things like that, which is great, and it shows a really kind of a great community.
Yeah.
However, I just don't want to talk to strangers.
No.
I mean, it's...
I barely want to talk to you.
Yeah, cheers. Marital bliss there. But I just, if I'm doing one of these activities on a game, I want it to be with friends. I want it to be with people that I can talk to.
People you can communicate. When you say, I'm running over here and things happened, they know what you mean.
Yeah, and things like, a Tesco delivery has just turned up, hang fire, I never happen to do that. It's one of those weird things. And going back to the main point is that when you've got a small child, you have to dedicate a ruck ton of time, and it's really frustrating because we want to play the raids.
Yeah.
We want to get everything out of Destiny.
And on that as well, it's worth mentioning, it's not a game you can really play with little ones, youngsters in
it's no
the
Minecraft.
background.
It's no Minecraft.
There's no blood and gore, as you can see. There's no blood and gore, but the enemies are scary. Look at it from a toddler's perspective.
Yeah.
That's quite terrifying. And I mean, some of the enemies, like the Hive, the Fallen, the Taken, they are pretty terrifying. They are nightmare-inducing. So it's not something you could just go, that's all right. They don't know what's going on. I won't be a maniac murderer. It's fine. And I think even you get scared sometimes of these enemies, don't you? Yeah, I'm super brave.
You're not super brave.
I'm not.
After a session on Destiny, you come back shaking.
Yeah, yes, it's Destiny's fault. Nothing to do with Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and Destiny. This is our life. We are good. We're good parents, I promise.
We are good. We are very good parents.
But yeah,
when we're sober.
To be honest, we've just spent the first bit of this video sort of bitching about Destiny, and we don't mean to do that because for all of its frustrating flaws as a game, especially for parents and people who can't dedicate a massive amount of time, it is an amazing game.
It is. Yeah, but yes, and that's another thing worth mentioning is there's so many ways to enjoy this game. Now, I am a big fan of Destiny because I can jump on for 10-15 minutes. I could do a bounty, you know. I could, get some XP that way. I could jump on of a weekend, which I'm about to do, see what the good old Zur is selling me in the tower. Or I can put an hour in and maybe do a couple of strikes and some patrol missions. Or like that, I can put in a good couple of hours and just lose my night to it. So there's so many ways to enjoy it and get into it.
And I think for me particularly, I mean, you really took to Destiny. I was really excited during the kind of excitement stage, like when it was announced on E3, and they showed off that gameplay footage where you met up with your mate and it looked really cool. And I kind of fell out with it pretty quickly just because I haven't got the patience to farm and to farm loot and to loot and loot. So, but having said that, the gameplay that you're watching at the moment. This is me playing it for the first time for quite some time.
About a good year.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It was great fun.
The other problem we had with the E3 footage and the such was it gave the impression that it was couch co-op, very much like Borderlands.
And I think they even said at one point it was going to be the split screen.
Yep, and it ain't, guys. It really ain't.
It really isn't, no.
So that was really disappointing, especially as we're both gamers. So, we've had to go out and buy 2 copies of the game, and that's really frustrating.
And expensive. I mean,
very expensive.
There's been a lot of talk in sort of games media, as it were, about kind of little microtransactions, the Destiny, the new packages, the Taken King that you have to buy. There's been something. But we're kind of falling into the band camp as well that we are just going to carry on throwing money at Destiny.
Yes, very much so.
It's going to remain on the PlayStation, and there's going to be DLC added to it, and we're just going to be throwing money at it.
Yep, and quite happily as well, because you can kind of tell from this footage, but the enemies are so good to shoot. They're so. I mean, the Vex. So this is the Vex that we're looking at now, and they're so crunchy.
Yes.
Oh, they're crunchy.
Crunchy is the perfect term to use because they really are. And yeah, so it is a bit of a funny one. Bungie certainly know what they're doing. Nobody sort of needs to say anything otherwise. We never really got into the Halo series just because we've been PlayStation fans for a long time.
Yeah.
We've got friends who are into the Halo. I have tried the latest Halo, and it's awesome. We need to look at that.
Oh, another console.
Yes, another console. So you see how I sort of slipped that in?
But maybe we do. That's I really enjoy Destiny, and everyone that says if you enjoy Destiny, you would enjoy Halo. So I think you might be right.
Yeah. So what would you want from Destiny? Having seen all the good points and the bad points, what would you want?
I thoroughly enjoyed the Taken King storyline, and I really got into that, and I get into the lore of it, and just everything. I super enjoyed it. So I want to see more DLC like that. I want to see more story and more. You want to see the kind of lore. I want to be sucked into this universe.
Yeah.
I felt I was with the Taken King. I felt I was really sucked into it, and I want that again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was watching you play a bit of Taken King, and it did look really cool. I don't know who the King is. I don't really know who the Taken is. Steve, is it?
King
Steve.
Steve.
Steve the accountant, is it?
Yeah, no, he's a king.
Oh, sorry. King accountant?
Yeah.
But yeah, and it did look very cool, and it looked like you kind of think, why didn't you just add that on and just sort of during the announcement you'd have had half the problems or the people moaning. So it's a game that we'll continue to play. Certainly I know you will.
Yeah, because it is one that, as I say, I can jump on for a little bit, or I can dedicate quite a bit of time to it. So for me, it is a winner, and always will be. And plus, I'm not very good at first-person shooters. I'm actually pretty terrible at it. but the enemies on this are just bullet sponges.
Yeah,
so I don't
definitely,
have to be good.
Yeah,
you know,
and
I
think
could
that
just
is,
go in and enjoy it.
Yeah,
which is
it
nice.
hasn't got that kind of hardcore feel of if you're a Battlefield fan or even a COD. You know, you could literally just go in and fight that.
Yeah.
One quick point before we end. We don't really try the Crucible.
No,
because
that's intense.
It's
man.
intense, and it's difficult to spend a lot of time playing it and practicing. Again, with the little one.
Plus, I can't remember maps.
No,
I'm shocking at remembering.
You are pretty bad.
I can't remember my own name. In fact, I don't even know who you are.
No, that's fair enough. I'm a strange man that's just walked into the room. Far too forgiving. But yeah, I mean, Destiny, brilliant game. For parents, it is tricky, but you know, it has got that appeal, and I think that's what sums it up. The game that you love to hate.
You're right. This is us having a little sit down. Well done. Go team!
Guardian.
Music.